By law, don't leave it to the governor. By law, bring in men and women of integrity in the liquor licensing court. Then don't allow the nonsense that is going on, that licenses are issued throughout the year. It has never happened. Licenses were issued once a year. Once. And it was a serious affair. People are given 2 or 3 weeks to apply. Vetting takes another 2 weeks. The licenses are issued, and there was a mechanism for appeal. Chapter closed. Those licenses, they work for the whole year. We must go back to that, because that is a problem we are having. In some counties, just getting the receipt to apply to be considered is a license. That is what is happening in Kiambu. And since the county wants revenue, as long as you can afford what is being required, you just pay, you start. Receipts cannot be a license. A receipt is an application for consideration. So you people must come out with a law that clearly spells out the mechanism of issuing a license. And that liquor licensing court, it must be vetted by the county assemblies. Watch our end vetting. So that we have men and women of integrity. Again, you must create a mechanism of impeaching them. And you must lower the threshold. Let it not be 2/3. Equal 50+1, simple majority. So that if people become rogue, the assembly can remove them. And I don't think there is any assembly in Kenya will allow a rogue liquor licensing court, because MCAs are elected people. And they know what our women are saying. They know what our people are saying. I believe the county assembly, given the power to vet and approve members of the liquor licensing court, they will give us a good team. That I have no doubt. Because these are elected leaders. But let us bring in all the security agencies in that court. Let us bring in public health. Let us bring NACADA. Let us bring administration. Let us bring police and other people of integrity, and you point out those people. Let's have people, the religious leaders, Nini. You define a good court. It can be big, but make it very powerful. Make it very powerful. Again, you want to consider looking at distances and population. How many bars do you allow within 5 square kilometers? You want to consider. This thing of having every building is a bar, it's not, surely. It cannot work. That's something you need to look at. You need to look at the wines and spirits. Those are the most notorious. You want to ask yourself, why do you want wines and spirits that are selling intoxicating products? Do you want to allow them to operate throughout? Why don't you regulate them? Why don't they open for a few hours after work? Why do you want them to sell from morning? Because these are the people selling people sachets. They are the ones who are selling this to our school children. And you must also come up with a very heavy penalty for anybody caught selling alcohol and those things to school-going children and minors. Very heavy penalty. So that ukiamua kuuzia mtoto wa shule, you know what it means. It must be very heavy. You also may want to consider, why do you want to allow people to come from other counties with the vehicles to sell poison to your people? Why don't you consider that anybody who wants to sell those things must have a depot within the county so that they can be regulated? And also come up with very heavy regulations on how a depot can operate. And for heaven's sake, don't allow depots everywhere. Just have, if it's a depot, sub-county headquarters, and one through the law, so that you are able to oversight that place. As it is, everybody now has a depot. Again, brewing at home, you must come up with very heavy penalties for anybody who is trying to set up a small distillery in your household, because that one you cannot oversight. You must outlaw that by having a very heavy penalty. But there are so many ideas that you have. That is just what is going through my mind, that if we can be tough and make it next to impossible for people to sell illicit alcohol through the law, you will help our people. So that those who sell are those who are selling the right thing. Again, you want to consider all these things that are there, Kobero, Nini. You really want to create a law to outlaw them, because you know why they are going there. There is no law to regulate them. You know them. There is nothing wrong with you being specific. All those substances, you outlaw them and you put very heavy penalties, very heavy, so that somebody akisikia ni kuuza hiyo kitu, yeah, akisikia ni 1,100 fine, he thinks twice. So you people have a job to do, and I'm sure you know what you need to do. Ours is to support you. Again, you want to consider about business of ethanol in your counties. Yeah. Legislate. Caution your people from bad things. Kanyoko. Hakuna pahali mtapelekwa. Mseme hii kwetu, hapana. Hii kwetu, hapana. But again, we said, let's have a uniform law in the 5 counties, so that mtu asitoroke Kiambu akuja kuuza kitu yake Murang'a. And tukimaliza hii, we are coming to Laikipia and Nakuru, also Nairobi and Kajiado. Because if we don't also do in the neighboring counties, we will have a challenge. But we wanted to use this as a model. So those are just a few of my thoughts. I know you people have many thoughts. I brought these members of parliament to assist you, because they are also from there, they know. These drafters will help you. The people of Nakada, you know this journey. You know what can be done. These are the lawmakers, and they have mandate from the assemblies who are told to come here and make the laws. DPP, you know where we have weaknesses. We had a long conversation. Talk now. Police, you know where we have a problem. Let everybody talk openly and candidly. But let us, all of us, consider this as a privilege, that you are privileged to be in a position to change destiny in this region by doing the right thing, by creating laws to help mankind. I know there is a discussion about, no, these boys, if they don't drink, they need something else to do. That is true. But that does not mean because they have nothing to do, they cure themselves. We are making reforms in the coffee sector, in tea, in milk, to prepare for these boys. As it is today, even if we reform coffee, there will be nobody in the farms. I have many roads I was doing as a member of parliament. We could not get young men to work on the roads. It's women who are spreading maram. The men are not available. So the issue that they are drinking, they have nothing to do, is also not true. It's not true. I have seen many projects lacking workers. The people available for work in the central Kenya region are women and young girls and old men. The young boys are not available. And the reason, there is cheap, available alcohol. Let us make it impossible to have cheap, available alcohol. Let these boys go and work if they want to take Staska, which is 200 shillings. Aende afanye kazi,